Hey guys, Mike from Job Ready English. Today we're going to talk about Barclays analyst interviews. Stick around until the end because I'm going to tell you why Barclays is a pretty fiddly interview and fiddly process. It's a good process, and in a way it's similar to Accenture in the way that it's so challenging. So stick around to the end while we talk about that. Let's go. Let's talk about Barclays. Now stick around until the end when I'll tell you about why, for me, Barclays is one of the more difficult investment banks to prepare for.
Sit back and watch.
With Barclays, really what we're looking at is quite a wide range of responses, potential scenarios. For the most part, we're pretty much looking at video interviews with 5 questions. So you're going to have, I think most, I would say, non-technically specific candidates reported that they're going to sort of have five video interview questions, which is probably going to be something like 3 minutes on, 2 minutes off. So you're kind of cycling through that in about 25 minutes. And by that I mean 3 minutes to answer, 2 minutes to respond, which is a good baseline to use. Now, what are we kind of looking at with Barclays? Well, we're looking at behavioural questions, motivation and behavioural questions. So you're definitely going to have why Barclays, why this position. It's going to come up time and time again. Go and have a look at their latest quarterly report. Have a look at the media press kit, because this is somewhere where they're really going to simplify all the numbers. I often have people say to me, like, how can I read the annual report? It's hundreds of pages long. You're not required to do that. If you could just pick out 4 to 6 key ideas, key facts that really can't be said about other banks, then you're really well ahead of the competition. Why this role, particularly for Barclays, and it's the same for a lot of the investment banks, they don't go into a huge amount of detail about the different analyst positions. So really what you're going to want to do is do some form of lateral reading. And what I mean by that is say for example you're looking at becoming a treasury analyst at Barclays, which is to do with essentially working in accounts. And you go and look at Barclays website and you see there's not a lot of information there, it's very vague. So then I would go and search treasury analyst job description on Google and have a look at maybe anywhere from, I personally will look at everything that comes up on the first page, because I want confirmation and I also want to see that there's some sort of commonality between the different job descriptions. What I mean by that is that if you just read a few articles, they may be wildly different. But if I read 5 or 10 articles, I begin to see the common themes. You know, it's like if you, for example, if you look at comparison blogs, because they're trying to sell stuff for affiliate, and you'll see there's the same things if they're comparing cameras or TVs or the latest laptop, and the same for the job description. And really, we're only looking to pull out, 3, 4, 5 things about this is what I do day to day, these are the skills that I need, this is the experience that I have, and matching those two things together. But just, again, always make sure that your research isn't lazy, that you're putting in a solid bit of effort. By solid, I mean maybe half an hour. It's really not going to take you very long. Then what you'll tend to find is that the questions are going to be, they may well be a mixture of behavioural questions, and you might see some leaning towards your particular role. For example, if you're applying for a technology analyst position, you might start to get asked about, recent developments in technology, your experience in technology, a problem that you solved recently with code, something like that. And the rest are sort of generic behavioural questions like, tell me a time when you dealt with adversity, or tell me a time when you resolved a conflict, worked in a team, leadership. So those are those kind of generic competency questions, and that's why with clients we spend most, I always say to candidates, look, spend the majority of your time working with behavioural questions. We have seen strength questions come up with Barclays before as well. And I guess that kind of brings me almost to my final point, which is, why is Barclays one of the most difficult investment banks to prepare for? Because it's really role specific. And actually I think personally, that this is great because it shows that the candidate has done their homework. Accenture is very similar in doing this, where the whole assessment process is built around that role, And a lot of that stuff actually is reasonably difficult to prepare for because you either know it or you don't know it. And that kind of makes a lot of sense, right? If you're going to go and be a technology analyst, then really you should like technology and you should have some experience in technology, or you shouldn't be there. You go and do something else. And Barclays is really looking to screen out candidates who essentially have no genuine reason for wanting to do that role. To something that I would say is like, keep up to date with business news, make sure that you can kind of explain your whys very clearly, and be prepared potentially for questions which are reasonably specific around the role that you want to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know if you want us to make other videos. New video comes out each week, and subscribe, drop us a comment down below and like this video. Bye.